clear to scattered blustery showers, which may persist in places overnight. Southwesterly winds will become strong and gusty later on. Here. So even if you have an umbrella, you can't survive. And if you're a bit lightweight, you need to make sure how you control yourself when you're walking on the street. Don't get close to the street, you know what I mean? Walk on the pavement, on the pedestrian roads, and also looking at the underground and the overground as usual. Looking on the Hammersmith line, we have minor delays on the Hammersmith line due to a train cancellation. And also the London overground, we have reduced service. That's Tuesday the 6th of April. Late evening weekday trains at 11:03 p.m. So remember that from Liverpool Street to Chinford will not run due to a staff shortage. Yeah, we're stirring it up. And also on our street, that's Buckinghamshire, on the M40 outbound, blocked queuing traffic due to a serious accident. 4 vehicles and a motorcycle involved from junction 1, A40, Denham roundabout. Oh my God, it's not looking good. I hope everyone is, you know what I mean, it's not that critical. Let's hope so. And also on the M27, that's a Hampshire, broken down vehicle removed on the M27 westbound at junction 9, A27. And also on the M8, that's a Glasgow City, you know what I mean? 2 lanes blocked, heavy traffic due to an accident on the M8 westbound at junction 16, Canal Street. That's a Great Hole. So massive and crew, if you're driving, make sure, you know what I mean, you obey the traffic regulations, you have your seatbelt on, stay off your mobile phones, just focus on the street. So stick and stay. Very soon I'll be bringing you my artist. Time check is exactly 27 minutes past the hours of 8 London time. And today happens to be Wednesday the 10th of March 2021. This is how we do it, right? Love is all we bring, nothing else.
Oh, Jah, you are my motivation. I keep you day and night in my meditation. Oh, Jah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie, there's none compared to you. No matter what they do. Lion of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler, you always lead the way. No matter what they say. Oh, Jah, I pray you will guide over humanity. Show them the way when they go astray. You are the kingdom, the power, and the glory. And in you is the spirit of prophecy. Yeah.
Clarendon Massive, he's one of your own, you know what I mean? He goes by the name YVAD. He's got a background, that's my inspiration.
Yeah.
Still waiting for him.
Oh, Jah, you are my inspiration. I can count on you in any situation. Oh, Jah, you are my motivation. I keep you day and night in my meditation.
You are listening to GM Radio UK.
There's none compared to you. No matter what they do.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
You always lead the way. No matter what they say. Oh, Jah, I pray you will guide over humanity. Show them the way when they go astray. You are the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Yeah. And in you is the spirit of prophecy. Oh, Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie, there's none compared to you. No matter what they do. Lion of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler, you always lead the way. No matter what they say. Jah, you are my strong foundation. You're my rock and my salvation. Praises I sing when I wake up in the morning, and give thanks and praise for your unfailing love. Oh, Jah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie, there's none compared to you. No matter what they do. Lion of Judah, Earth's rightful ruler, you always lead the way. No matter what they say.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
Oh, Jah, you are my
Yeah, time change is only 34 minutes past the hours of 8 London time. And as I told you earlier on, we have the man himself, YVAD. You know what I mean? Doing it like nobody's business. So Clarendon Massive is one of your own. Remember that.
Yeah.
So tell a friend to voice a friend to tune in right about now. The link to Africa we send.
Yeah. Oh, that you are my inspiration. I can count on you in any situation.
You are listening to GN Radio
That you
UK.
are my motivation. I keep you day and night in my meditation. But Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie, there's none compared to you. No matter what they do. Lion of Judah, earth's rightful ruler, you always lead the way. No matter what they say. God, I pray you guide over me.
Yeah, Massive, time is now on our side. Let's go on to the phone lines. You know what I mean? This is a Zoom interview and we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also streaming live on YouTube. At the same time, you can download our apps on the Apple Store and also the Google Play Store. Why not? And when you click on, you'll be right here at the right time. You know what I mean? Nothing to worry about. This is GN Radio. Let's go on to the line. Blessed, blessed, blessed evening. Hello? Hello, sorry, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Ras YVAD, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear now. We can hear you loud and clear now.
Hi, greetings.
How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, man, everything good, man. One perfect love. Give thanks for having me, you know?
You know what I mean? We are here to share the inspiration with the man himself, you know, with the voice behind the tune itself. So, you know what I mean? As you know, you're locked on to GN Radio. We have Ras YVAD on the line, as I've been promoting from last 2 weeks that I'll be hosting him today. And you know what I mean? Thank God he's here live and direct. Not in the studio, but you know what I mean? You can watch him live on Facebook and also on YouTube. We are live. You know, we're streaming like nobody's business. So Ras YVAD, blessed evening once again. You know what I mean? It's a great honor to be on this show, the Reggae Catalogue.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
So, you know what I mean, to set the ball rolling, can you introduce yourself to the listeners out there? Because I know alongside Ras YVAD, you have your own name that Mama and Papa gave you. You know what I mean? Can you introduce yourself to the listeners out there in case some of your schoolmates will be listening and said, no, this voice sound familiar. You know, introduce yourself to the listeners out there.
Yeah, well, most people know me as YVAD. YVAD is actually my last name, spelled backward. And this is a name that was given to me when I got signed to Tough Gang.
Okay.
Back in the early 90s. About 92, 93. And Sidella Marley decided, you know what, let's turn your last name backwards. You don't look like a Kevin. so we turned both names backward and came up with YVAD Nivek.
Okay.
And then we decided to run along with YVAD.
Right. So when we say YVAD, you know what I mean, where is YVAD coming from as an artist? You know what I mean, where in Jamaica exactly are you from?
I'm from originally born in Kingston and grew up in a parish called Clarendon.
Yeah,
man. So a little town named Spaldings.
so that was at the age of 3 that you moved to Clarendon. You know, take us through now. We holding the vibe.
At a very, very early age, you know, from at the age of about 5, 6, went to Clarendon because of political violence in Kingston. So
okay.
we moved down to the country just to get away from the politics.
Yeah, we're listening. We're listening.
Yeah, man, and that's where I went to school, went to Knox, and spent most of my time there, and learned music and everything there in the country while I was there. Grew up with my grandfather.
Okay. And we learned that you were voicing with a choir that's at the Moravian Church. How was it as a young youth? I'm thinking you wanted to do something different, but your parents and your grandfather, they want you to be at the church so that be on the right route. How was it for you?
It was pretty easy, because I grew up in a pretty distant family. Grandfather was a pretty disciplined man. He was a politician and a preacher at the same time, churchman. So every weekend church was a must.
Yeah.
And learning music was a must at home too, because we had all type of musical instruments at home. And he was one of the person who wanted me to learn, actually forced me to learn. So every evening when I came home from school, I would have to do piano lessons.
Okay.
And then he would send me to his brother, who is a master guitar player, like twice a week, and I would go there and take lessons from him. And that's where the whole thing developed from.
But being a youth, did you say to yourself that no, I'm being pressured, or you just felt like no, I wanted to do music, so this is the best opportunity for me to embark on?
Yeah, well, the opportunity came when I moved back to Kingston. That was just really opening up the doors for what I would become. And it was a good thing, it was really good, because I realized, even my grandfather realized it, that I could sing and I was really talented. I ended up playing instruments for my church.
Okay.
So I was the guitar player for quite a few years. And then I ended up started singing in the choir. And then I remember we went on a church competition. Like it was a song contest, church contest. And I went up there and did a song, and my church won second place.
Oh wow.
So that was it was a good thing, man. It was really good. Starting out in church, from school days.
So fast forwarding, after you graduated from the School of Knox College in 1993. That's when you said that you said that no, I want to set on a mission into your musical career.
Yeah, right after school, I moved into Kingston with brought my acoustic guitar with me and quite a few songs that I was working on. One of the songs was it's called "We Need Love." That's one of the first songs I wrote, actually. And one night I was in Kingston and I had a dream that Ziggy Marley came to my house.
Wow.
Yeah, I was living in one of those ghetto areas in the city, And I had a dream Ziggy Marley came to my house and wanted me to come with it. So I said, all right, cool. I got up the following day and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to Tough Gang and see what's going on. I took the acoustic guitar the following day, went to Tough Gang. When I got to Tough Gang, they were doing an audition. It was like a long line, whole bunch of young youths lined up trying to get signed. Because back in those days, they were signing artists.
Yeah.
It was major record labels. That was Tough Gang. And Tough Gang was a big thing. Still is a big thing, always a big thing. And so I was the last one in the back of the line, man. I came up there. Oh, as a matter of fact, on my way to Tough Gang, I met this guy, Elder Ross, and he was riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
And he stopped. He saw me walking with my acoustic guitar on my back, and he stopped and said, "Yo, young naughty youth, He said, where I go? And I said, I'm going to Tough Gang. And he said, I'm going to Tough Gang to, jump on the bicycle.
So you go and lift on there.
Yeah, so I got a lift because it was quite a few miles walk.
Yeah.
Tough Gang. You know what I mean? So I got a lift.
So in a way, your dream was coming into a reality.
I was on the back. He had a little a little carrier on the back, and I was on. And he was pedaling through town, and it was a hilarious scene. Trust me. But we got to Tough Gang. When we got to Tough Gang, it was a line there. I was the last one at the back of the line, and only one with an acoustic guitar in the line. And then when I looked, the producer came out, and he looked down the line, and he looked at all the way up, and he saw me with the acoustic guitar, and he said, "Send the guy all the way up from the back with the acoustic guitar."
Because he could tell that no, this man is ready for it.
That's what I'm telling you. The youths that need to keep, practice some type of instruments. Don't leave out that. Don't just jump on a rhythm or a beat. You know what I mean? Try to be the one who's gonna create that. You know what I mean? And try to be musical in every way you can. Learn some type of instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went in Tough Gang, man, and I met right there. I met Stella Marley, met Clive Hunt, and that's where it started out. We went in the studio and we did the song called "We Need Love," and they were like, "Yeah, that's the one."
Before we talk about "We Need Love," you know what I mean? Earlier on when you came on, I was playing this tune, My Inspiration. Before we come to, everything that, went on at Tough Gang, take us through a bit, My Inspiration. Because it's like you have so much inspiration to the extent that you dreamt, and you made a move towards it, and everything happened for you.
Oh, say again, you mean that song?
Yeah.
My Inspiration?
My Inspiration, yeah.
Yes, that song recorded quite a few years ago and was produced by me and a couple of brothers. The song really means a lot to me, you know what I mean? Because it's really who I am. I'm like telling people what I'm about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What means so much to me. And what really means a lot to me is giving my all for the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what I have to do for Jah. And the song is saying, Jah is my inspiration. Jah is my everything. And, it's really the truth. This is where I get my inspiration from.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the Most High. It comes through that divine inspiration. It's not just it's nothing connected to the world. It's a divine inspiration, and it's from the Almighty.
So coming back to Tough Gang, that's when you release your first album titled Young and Gifted.
Yeah. Young, Gifted and Dread was released in 1996. And the song "We Need Love" was the title track for the album. When "We Need Love" came out, it ran for like 3 months on the radio, and it took off pretty big, like worldwide. It was a hit, and we got Best Produced Single for that song in 1996 in Jamaica on the Jamaica Music Awards.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a major accomplishment, major big start.
And also in 1997, it also featured on BET in 1997. How was the link? How did that happen?
Wow, yeah, it's a good thing you mentioned. There were so much things, so much major accomplishments. There's a lot of things that went down with that whole album, from the single to the album. It started from the single that took off and got the Best Produced Song in Jamaica. And then from there, we started touring like all over the world. We were on tour with the Marley family.
With the Israel Vibration, Benny Wheeler, you know what I mean, who just passed.
Vibration, I toured with Israel Vibration 3 times throughout the United States. Toured with Mighty Diamonds. Toured with a whole bunch of...
So how was the feeling, you know what I mean? Were you saying to yourself that, you know, I had this dream and this dream now looks so natural and everything is just coming by itself?
Yeah, I mean, it make you feel like you're on the right track. You're doing something right. Because that divine inspiration is still guiding you. You know, anytime you're on the wrong track, you know that divine inspiration is gone.
Yeah. It's like you don't even know what you're doing again.
Yes, no, yeah, because you see, a person who depends on Jah to show them what to do, that's how you gotta function. You know, and as a Rasta people, that's how we think. You know?
Yep.
God is the inspiration. He's the one who shows the way.
Massive and Crew, that's YVAD, you know what I mean, sharing with us with his inspiration, you know what I mean, and I love it so much. I don't know, you listening to us at home, you know, you like everything that he's talking about, from his dreams, meeting Damian Marley, and also going to the Tough Gun studio with his acoustic guitar, you know, him being the last person in the queue, and the producer called him that, no, this is what we need, you know what I mean, he came forward and everything started rolling for him. But before, you know, we move on, time check exactly 51 minutes past the hours of 8 London time, and we're still streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube. But YVAD, before I play this tune, Herb and Music, you know what I mean, in fact, when I watched this clip, I was like, Lord of His mercy, Mama Darcy sent me the link, and I loved everything about that tune. Herb and Music. Why Herb and Music?
Well, urban music now, again, urban music is another one that was produced by me and the same brothers I was telling you about. Christian Cowland, to be specific, and Keith Gallagher. Christian Cowland have toured with the Wailers for many years as their engineer and keyboard player.
Okay. A
great brother, very good friend of mine. And Keith Gallagher is another good friend of mine who became a producer with us on this project. But urban music I wrote urban music while I was in the country in Jamaica, at my uncle's house. I was there spending some time, and he lives on top of a mountain.
Okay.
When you're up on top of the mountain,
on the hills,
you're looking down at Mandeville. So Mandeville is supposed to be the 3rd city in Jamaica.
Okay.
So, you know, when you're up there, you get a very high type of vibe, you know. And I love being up there. And I was up there one day, and I had my acoustic guitar, and I started strumming, and, you know, I saw this little tree, and I was like, yeah. I said, to me now.
Now you got the vibe.
Yeah, and then I remember back in the days, a couple incidents that went down. That went down with me and a couple of brethren, and, you know, I said, let me inject that little part in the song, and I just, you know, I was able to put the whole thing together with my uncle. My uncle injected a few little lines in there. He was like, higher the hills is the greener the grass.
YVAD, you know what we're going to do now? Let the listeners have a feel of this one. You know what I mean? I love this tune.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
I wrote black right underneath the bridge.
All Brixton Massive, this tune you coming your way.
Man, no much sense in me, I'm now growing Wonderland. One shout out, say me no chance, give him a chance, it's a piece of Wonderland. I turned around and say respect officer, but as an artist I like to travel with a drive. Cause I'm a herbalist officer, I love herbs and music. Got no other nations to the youth.
just love the herb and the music, you know what I mean? Nothing else. No bad vibes. The green and the grass, so free it up, yeah, just for the meditation. So, YVAD, which year was this tune released? Which year?
Let me see if I can remember specifically. That tune that come out. Wow. It's about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3-4 years ago.
Nah, this tune sounds fresh. It sounds fresh. Anyway, moving on. You know, later on, after all this, you know, touring with Mighty Diamonds with the Israel Vibration, you went on to say yourself that, no, I need to build my own studio. Why your own studio? Because were you fed up with going to people's studios, or you just said to yourself, you know, I need my own studio that I can vibe, you know, voice anytime I want?
Well, we've always had our own studio, you know. We always have a little thing, cause like I said, I was born in music, so
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then being around people like Clive Hunt and the legends from Tough Gun, coming from the analog days, you know, I kind of held on to that knowledge.
Yeah.
Up till today. And you know, I don't have much. I mean, you know, nowadays you don't need much to really have a studio.
No, definitely.
So we kind of, you know, I always make sure I have a little Pro Tool thing at home and something that you can do a little tracking.
Natural. Anyway, we'll be going on to you know, I mean, your stage performances, you know, because I've seen a couple of performances on the Rebel Salute. I was like, Lord of His mercy, you could see the crowd waving left, right, and that. But before we come on to that, you know, I mean, this evening I received this tune saying that, is it Rise Up Africa? Why Rise Up Africa? You know what I mean? Have you seen something going wrong in Africa? That's why you say Rise Up Africa.
Yeah, because you see, it is in the spiritual realm again. We see those things that now is a time. It's a time now for I and I to rise up. And it's not just a word or a country. You know what I mean? It's a movement for our people. For our people who are on a conscious path. You know,
yeah.
It is now is a time for these people to come together and pull it together and make it work.
So, which year was this tune released?
This tune just came out. You're actually the first person to play this.
Lord of His mercy. Massive, you see, I've been telling you, when it comes to Reggae Catalogue and GN Radio, we play the best.
No man can stop your destiny.
So, to all of my Africans, you know what I mean?
Today we are all
52 countries on the continent.
Emperor Haile Selassie, rise up Africa, cause none can stop your destiny.
Yeah, this one going out to man like Bobby Wine
We are all
of Uganda. Pick up yourself each and every time, King.
Emperor Haile Selassie, the answer lies within our souls for the questions.
And Massive, don't forget, pretty soon we'll be going for a quick commercial break, but we're still streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Now, for those of you listening to us via tuning, we'll be going for a quick commercial break, but we're still live on YouTube and Facebook. Stick and stay.
Remember those who fallen on the battlefield, those who sacrificed themselves that our future would be more secure and free. A mission, rise up Africa, remember the words of His Majesty. Yes, Africa awaits its creators to arouse the slumbering giant from its...
It's been long overdue, you know what I mean? As they say, we have all the natural resources, but yes, still.
For the questions that have never been posed.
We and poverty are like twins. Why? It's about time.
Love is the only solution.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
This is GN Radio UK.
Free man, established
Yes, all massive coming out of Nigeria, big up on yourself.
rise up,
All Zimbabwe crew, my Gambians,
cause none can stop
my Tanzanians, South Africans.
Cause today we are all free man, established by Emperor Haile Selassie. The answer lies within our souls for the questions that have never been posed. We've gotta get along, cause love is the only solution. And
Yes, we're still here. And moving on, remember, I know we are the first station playing this tune, and you'll be hearing this tune, you know, from every time we come on this show. We'll be playing this tune because it's a very powerful lyrics, you know what I mean? Lyrical content is on point. So, YVAD, we're moving on. You also, you know what I mean, created a song for your kids, or is it for kids?
Well, I have many songs, but which one specific?
You know what I mean? Dread to produce the album called Reggae for Kids.
Oh yes, produced by Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Yeah, that song was done back in the 90s, early 90s. I think we recorded that song around 1998. Yeah.
Okay.
Around 90. I'm not quite sure, but I know it's in the 90s.
And also, you move on to write a song called "Oh Mother."
Yeah. Oh Mother was actually. Yeah, I think that's a CD that I produced in New York with a friend of mine, Junior Bar YVAD. And the album is called the Justice album.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are some pretty good songs on there. The song called "Oh Mother" I wrote when I was at my mother's house in New York, in her kitchen while she was cooking.
Wow.
So
and that was a tribute to her.
She had cooked some food in her kitchen, and I'm sitting down there with the guitar. And I was just coming up with all type of stuff, and I said, I need to write a little mommy song. You know,
Yeah.
not about me, but about maybe something that another person is going through or probably been through. You know.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with the idea.
Okay. Yeah, Massive and Crew is still here. And also, you move on in 2006. You know, you went on tour again with the Wailers.
Yes. for a good time. For a good time.
Up until 2013. How was it?
It was great, man. It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed all my years with the Wailers. And you know, taught me a lot.
Wow. Anyway, YVAD, very soon we might be bringing the program to an end. But you know, take us through your stage performances. How did you get the opportunity to perform on the Rebel Salute? I think you've been on that platform, you know, a couple of times. How was it for you as an artist? You know what I mean, being on such a big platform. I know you've been touring, but Rebel Salute is a kind of a show that is based in Jamaica, and your homeland. They know the tunes and they know everything. So when you're on there, you have to give your 100%, or they say full 100.
That's true. Yeah, man, it was a honor and a great privilege to get on that show there, you know. Like 3-4 years in a row. And yeah, give thanks to Tony Rebel. Is a good friend of mine. We go way back from in the 90s.
Yeah.
And still a good friend of mine, you know. So yeah, Rebel Salute is one of Jamaica's best main events, you know, main reggae events that we have. So it's a kind of show. When you get on a show like that, you have to be at your best.
Because you have all the, they say they have all the A-list artists on there, the big artists on there.
Yeah, because nothing is simple coming out of Jamaica. Jamaica is what feeds the world with reggae music, and we have to respect that. You know, we can't forget those things. And those little shows, not little shows, big shows in Jamaica, we have to take them seriously and preserve them, preserve the culture.
Yeah.
It's part of the culture. You know what I mean? It's our thing.
So how was it for you, you know, being on the, you know, was the fans happy to see YVAD on the stage? Because I've seen the videos and, you know what I mean, the way they were corresponding with you, I was like, no, this is magical.
Yeah, I mean, when I did Rebel Salute, because nobody have seen me for so long.
Yeah.
You're like, where's this guy? Where have he been? But you know how Jah works, you know what I mean? And we coming like, as Lennox Lewis would say, the older the wine, the better.
Yeah, the better it tastes, isn't it?
So these songs that are coming out right now couldn't have come out before, you know what I mean? There's no way that inspiration would have come to you before. So everything is just happening at the right time.
At the right time.
So, you know, when these people haven't seen me for so long, but I'm always in the studio working and doing the music, and I have a great catalog of music sitting on and a whole bunch of things that the world is gonna hear pretty soon.
So for an artist like you know what I mean, I know you're still producing tracks and that, which the music at the background I see Small Wars, you know what I mean? You know, what are you doing in terms of this pandemic and that? Are you putting anything together? What should we expect from YVAD, you know what I mean, after this whole pandemic, you know what I mean, goes away and that?
Yes, good question, because yeah, what you said, during the pandemic, you know, we respect the rules and regulations and just try to work along with things. But during that period of time now, I've been at home and just in the studio mostly. You know, we haven't been doing any live shows or anything like that. So it's just mostly studio works. And you know, it's been a good time for us, so it gave us a little time so we could get some production work done. I'm a kind of person who don't waste time. Yeah. So, you know, every day I'm actually doing something musical, because I know it's gonna add up, and I know it's gonna.
Definitely.
I'm gonna need it. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. In the
a little
long
drop
run.
of water makes a mighty ocean flow. So from, you know, bit by bit, it become a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're touring and all that stuff, it's very hard to get in the studio and make music. So it's a good time to do it. Do as much as you can.
So in this case, you will look forward to any new album from YVAD?
Yeah, look for a whole bunch of new stuff, because like I said, we have a whole catalog of stuff. I have a Studio One album coming out.
Oh, wow.
That's the first one we're gonna drop, because it's been overdue. And I've been just sitting on it for a long time. Some great tracks. You're probably the first person who I'm gonna send.
Talking about Studio One, you know what I mean? I've got a couple of stories. I've heard a couple of stories about Studio One.
It's tough. You know, really good stuff. So
okay,
the material is done. The material is basically done. I'm just we're setting a live line, not a deadline.
Okay.
For the release, because you know, we have to plan around those things and promotion and all that type of
That's
stuff.
very important.
Yeah.
So what do you have for your fans, you know what I mean, in terms of shows, you know, any shows in advance that, you know, you like to surprise your fans with after all this? What should your fans expect?
Yeah, we have a couple stuff coming up. I don't have them in my head right now, but
because there's a lot of them.
yeah, we have a show coming up in Georgia.
Okay.
And that's gonna be it's a while away from now, but it's a major event. It's a city event.
Okay.
And it's gonna be held in the square, open for everybody.
Open space, yeah.
So we're respecting quite a few thousands of people.
Wow. So Massive and crew, if you are in Georgia, make sure you keep your ears open so that anytime the date drops, you'll be able to purchase a ticket, support this movement, you know what I mean? Because from last year, things hasn't been that good for musicians, promoters, you know what I mean, event organizers and stuff and that. So this is the time for us to show our love for these artists, you know what I mean, the time they're putting into their work, sitting down, writing lyrics and everything, studio work and everything. This is the time they also need something from us. We need to pay them back with love, but not just love. Buy their music, purchase their merchandise and everything, so that they also have something, to promote more tunes for us, because in this time we need very good music. If you had any last words, before we end everything, Small Wars is also a brand new tune, and I believe I'm the first person playing this tune.
Yeah, man. The first man.
Small Wars. Why Small Wars? There's wars going on everywhere.
That's another good question, because Small Wars is another inspiration, I would say, from the Almighty. It's this little book that I always have it sitting right in front of me. I read this like almost every day.
Yes.
Every time I have a little spare time, I would go in there and read a few paragraphs.
Wise Mind.
The Wise Mind of Haile Selassie.
Wise Mind of Haile. I know. I need to get that. Definitely. Wise Mind of Haile Selassie.
So that's where it came from. It's His Imperial Majesty words put into a song.
Okay.
Political war in Africa. Oh, we don't want no more internal strife in Africa. Internal strife in Africa. Brothers killing brothers, bloodshed every day for political gain. Used as tools for igniting friction.
God of His mercy. Sometimes you want to watch the news, you know what I mean? Say to yourself, why are they doing this?
It's unity, peace, and love.
That's what the whole thing is about. That's what His Majesty was saying, Like, this is what. It's like 100 years ago we were trying to get away from the Holocaust. You know what I mean?
And now it's still happening. Yeah, Massive, we'll be back very soon. Don't worry. We'll be back very soon if you're watching us live on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, we need to restart. So music at the background, Small Wars with YVAD very soon. We'll bring in the interview to an end. Thank you for lending us your beautiful ears. Make sure you download our apps on the Google Play Store and also on the App Store. And download TuneIn. Or you can just go to TuneIn and type in Reggae. Did I say Reggae Catalogue? GN Radio, yeah? And also you can listen to us via Radio Garden. Yeah, Yvonne, sorry about that. We had to restart, you know what I mean, when it comes to this technology business. Yeah, as we were saying, yeah.
I'm here again.
No. You were saying something before, you know what I mean? We went for the break.
Yeah, like I was saying, His Majesty said it, you know what I mean? That these are the things that the internal affairs in Africa that's destroying the youths. When one party is picked to create internal strife, to please one political party. And it's going on all over the world. It's not just in Africa. It's been going on from ever since.
You know, as a Rastaman and a musician, what do you think that, you know, I mean, you being an artist and your colleagues can do to sink into the minds of these ghetto youth? Because normally, I think they use this ghetto youth that they think that they don't have nothing to do, or they're just sitting in the ghetto. Some would say they just smoke weed and they have nothing to do. What would you say to this ghetto youth? You know, I mean, for them to be wise and say to themselves, now it's about time we need to say to ourselves, no, we're not going to fight for these politicians, because at the end of the day, when they fall sick, they fly them out to, you know, foreign for medical checkups and that. But you as a ghetto youth, when you're sick, nobody knows, you know, what you're doing and that. What are you doing to sink into the minds of these ghetto youths?
Yeah, well, it's not true the way they treat and talk about the youths. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us were in the same position back in the days. No food, no guidance, no parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to find a way. You have to find that good self within you, that conscious self. That self that can guide oneself. So a lot of youths are in this position today and need help. Instead of them going in there and killing out all of the youths, then they need to do something to help them out. I think. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us have made mistakes in our past and we learn from it.
Yeah. As I've got this audio by Uncle Bernie Wheeler. He said one money that can buy one gun can buy about 20 computers.
Yes, but that doesn't say that we should hate the youths, you know, because they made a mistake. You know, and back in the days, they used to have serious punishment for people. They used to beat them.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're just killing out the youths for no reason, just because they make a mistake.
That's really sad. That's really sad.
Everybody is labeled as a criminal, and that is part of it that I can't overstand. You know?
It's really sad. Massive. Time check, exactly 17 minutes past the hours of 9. But in a few minutes, we'll be saying bye-bye, and we'll bring the interview to an end. But before we end, we need to end it with something sweet. Let's talk about sweet candy.
Wow. That song, man, that's a song that I can't remember the year we did that song. It was recorded with a producer friend of mine called Douglas McCleary, and it was released on his record label called Rhythmax Records. And he was the one who came up with the whole idea for the whole concept, production idea, and shot a video. He came up with the video concept and everything, and we recorded that song at his studio and released it, and that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Wow. Matthew, you hear that? Don't forget, you know, that was Ras YVAD, all the way from Jamaica, Clarendon. You know, he's been there touring with all the top artists, and I love his story. If you want to know much about Ras YVAD, make sure you check him out on YouTube. Go to Facebook, you know what I mean, Instagram, everything you know about Ras YVAD, you know that. And he's got a couple of tunes coming. Don't forget, you heard him saying that he's got an album coming from Studio One. You know what I mean? And when we talk about Studio One, it's not a joke thing. You know, I have this in about say Coxon Dodd, and when in one of the DVDs they were saying that Studio One, they have this mango tree there. You know what I mean? For when one drop, if anyone come, they'll get another one. It's a nice story. Yeah. So you know what I mean, if you want to show your appreciation to anyone out there from your musical journey, I know there has been some people in your life that have supported you, you know, from your family, from friends and promoters, and that anyone that you want to say thank you to.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people, you know. There's a lot of people. Like, there's so much people I have to give thanks. But I want to give thanks to the team, most of all.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Sister D1, she know who that is, Darcy.
Yeah. The musical moderator.
Yeah, man. And D2 and D3. Dean Fishback, Darlington, Mubata Repeat. Yeah, man. Great team. Great team. So we're moving forward and getting ready to hit them with some good music.
So talking about hit them with some good music, what should we look forward to? You know what I mean? People in Africa or listening to us now will be saying that when is YVAD, you know what I mean, touching down anywhere in Africa to give us...
Good question. I want to touch down maybe as soon as possible.
Yeah. And I know...
I was supposed to go, you know, but I had to cancel the trip. But
where about?
We're gonna go to South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So South Africa will be the first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we head up to Zimbabwe.
Okay. How come everyone wants to go to South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Gambia? No, I never hear them saying you want to go to Ghana first.
I wish I want to check Ghana for sure. Maybe I will too. You know. Definitely.
I know that.
I got to connect with the roots, man. I want to know everywhere, every people, every little tiny aspect of the culture. You know what I mean? That puts the whole thing together.
Of course.
I want to meet it. I want to know.
Of course.
Yeah, man.
Your advice to upcoming artists, you know what I mean? What would you tell them? Because most artists think that it's easy. They say somebody wants to sign me, they want to buy me a car, they want to do this, what would be your advice for anyone that wants to come into music, wants to do music?
Well, if you're getting signed, you have to make sure you check the contracts properly, have a lawyer. Don't just think you're smart enough. And you know, try to protect your rights too, your interests. And as a young artist nowadays, it takes a lot of motivation, because I've seen a lot of people give up trying to do music because they got broken. A thing that we call broken.
Yeah.
You know? You reach a point and it's just not working and you just give up. We've seen a lot of that. But I'm saying to the youths now, just... And another thing too, remember, learn some type of instrument. Very important. It's either you learn to as long as you say that you're a musician, whether a DJ or a singer, you have music inside of you. It's in your blood some kind of way. So if it's in you some kind of way, you need to bring it out some kind of way.
Definitely.
So the way you're going to bring it out is either you're going to become a music producer, learn how to use some type of equipment.
Equipment, yeah.
Learn how to be the one who use the Pro Tools or the Logic or the whatever software. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or be the person who play the instrument. There's a lot of different instruments that you can choose. So I'm saying to most of the youths them today who have the gun and the this and the that, it's better for them to pick up a trade. The money
learn
you use
something.
to buy the gun,
yeah.
The money you used to buy the gun, use it and buy a tool. See? Use it by a tool where you can learn to do something where we can bring you through the future. Because the gun now go into the future. Now go
True.
make it.
True.
See? That's my word to the youth them. And stay focused. Stay focused, stay positive, determine at where you deal with. And be good.
Natural.
Yeah, man, that's the only way. Only goodness is good enough.
True. YVAD, thank you so much for your time. I know you're a very busy person, but you know, I mean, really appreciate your time on this show and also giving us the opportunity to play your two fresh tunes talking about Rise Up Africa and also Small Wars. And we're looking forward to the rest, you know, the Studio One and all the, you know, I mean, the projects that you have, you know, I mean, ready to touch the road. Thank you so much. Massive respect. So massive. That was YVAD all the way from Jamaica, Clarendon. But like I said, in everything we have to end it sweetly. You know what I mean? So this tune called Sweet Candy. So we're going to end it this way. For more make sure you contact YVAD. No, I forgot. Make sure YVAD, give us your contact. If anybody wants to contact you, you know what I mean, for shows, for promotion and everything.
They can reach us, you know. I think Darcy have some info there. Let me see. They can always reach us at YVAD. That's YVAD.
Yeah.
Booking. BOOKING @hotmail.com.
Okay. I think I have that email, so I'll definitely put it out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, so Massive and Crew, you heard it for yourself. For all the bookings, all promoters, event organizers, make sure you contact YVAD. He's been there, done that, everything. This is the man who has toured with all the great artists. This tune is called Sweet Candy. Right after this one, I'll take you on a quick commercial break, and on the rebound, enough tunes coming your way. This is the Reggae Catalogue. And also next week, we have an artist coming up, you know what I mean? This show is getting hot and hot every day. Or should I say it every week, isn't it?
Look into my eyes and tell me that you love me. Come closer this time and let me feel your heartbeat. You're so gorgeous and sexy. I'm so attracted to you, baby. Worth more than money, as sweet as honey. Hey, sweet candy, do you really think about me? Do you, baby? Whisper softly and tell me that you're ready. Girl, you act like fireside heat coming off of your make me like a brick of ice. I know you're natural and no time to fake it. A love like yours, I know I can make it. Girl, you're glowing like crystal, precious and clear. I know you are the right one. I can see you from a distance, 1 out of 1,000, 1 in a million. You get me weak in my knees, seems I got no resistance. Get it together, I'm a big one. Hey, sweet candy, do you really think about me? Do you, baby? Whisper softly and tell me that you're ready. Look into my eyes and tell me that you need me. I beg you, come closer tonight and let me feel your heartbeat. You're so gorgeous and sexy. I'm so attracted to you, baby. Worth more than money, as sweet as honey. Yeah, so happy and lively. Treated me kindly. Give me that wonderful feeling. Now you're the one I believe in. Hey, sweet candy, do you really think about it? Whisper softly and tell me that.
Yes, I'm going to take one more from YVAD.
Let's settle down and I man will do the rest.
That's Tree in my vineyard. Lord of His mercy. What a tune.
I would never leave your side. What I've been searching for, I found it this time. There's no mountain that I wouldn't climb just to be with you till the end of time. It's hard to find a good woman, but right now I see you in my place as the chosen one. The one. How can I make you understand what I'm making a woman? Girl, I'll be your man. Can't go on without you. Oh yeah. Got to feel irate. 'Cause there's a tree in my vineyard and 2 roots in my backyard. I'm growing sense in me, oh what a sense in me. 'Cause Babylon them want to cut it down, 'cause they don't wanna see it grow. Tell them follow my sense in me, not you what a sense in me. One draw and I'm lifted. Take a sip from a coconut chalice, and I give thanks and praises. Not to give Jaja praises. One draw and I feel it. I take a hit from the coconut chalice. And we give thanks and praises. Say Matty, give thanks and praises. For there's a tree in my vineyard and 2 roots in my backyard.
Yeah, tree in my vineyard.
Water sense in me. Say Babylon, them want to cut it now, cause they don't want to see it grow. Tell them for
Yes, make sure you link him up at YVAD
love my sense in me.
bookings
So take it
at hotmail.com.
cause Natty got the sweet cannabis. I shake my natty dread and let it blow in the air. Natty got the sweet sugar candy, the ram goat, skunk and blueberry.